We have the presence in us. Choose this day of heaven.
Good evening, everyone. This is Consciously Interviews, and I'm very, very pleased to have with me Kristine Alicia.
Yes, Miss Coral. So do I say Miss Coral or Miss Coral J Reed or like I mean what's
No,
what's the
Coral
name?
is fine. Just Coral is
Okay.
fine.
Okay. Hi
Really,
Coral.
really pleased to meet you at long last. Um,
Yes, for sure.
I would say that before we start, I became aware of you last year.
Okay.
Yeah, late last year. Black Diamond.
Oh
It was
really? Okay.
yeah. I have to big up Philip Gadd.
Yes.
He
Yes.
shared your single with me. We were talking
Yes.
about promotions and what music is out there, and that was a powerful song. So I'm thinking, where have I been? Because I have not seen or heard this lady before. Maybe it's because I'm in the UK, but you know, we're going to talk about it tonight. You know,
Yeah, sure. We can talk about everything. Anything.
anything. Right. So, all right. Just where are you now? Where are you based right now?
I'm in my guest studio, in my studio where I now live in Texas.
Oh, you're in Texas.
I live in
Okay.
Texas, but I just moved to Texas a year ago.
Right.
And so I've, told everybody all that. I've lived in Florida for most of my adult life.
Yeah, because I saw that
I
on your
moved,
Facebook. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I moved to Jamaica. I moved from Jamaica to Florida with my family when I was a teenager.
Okay. So
Hmm.
that's where the mixture comes in because I can hear the Jamaican accent, but I can hear the slang,
Yeah, right.
you know, the
Yeah,
American,
yeah,
yeah, the
yeah.
way you sound your R's and everything. So yeah, all right. We're talking about your family now. From what I read, you come from a very creative family,
Uh-huh.
and dare I say, a spiritual family as well. Your father's a pastor, and
Yeah.
so describe how it was growing up. You know, in that
So
kind of
yeah,
household. Yeah.
daddy was a pastor, mommy a teacher. So you have pastor and teacher. Went to private school. So
Mm-hmm.
to describe it in short, definitely both parents clearly intentional about making sure their children knew intellectually,
Yes.
what we're talking about, what our belief systems were, making sure that we knew and had a strong foundation is what we call it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Making sure you have a strong foundation. So I guess I grew up learning classical music because my dad was fully like endorsing classical. Like he was a
Yeah.
classical piano teacher.
Yeah.
Of course, just by default learning to sing in the church. I think everybody that goes
Yep.
to church by default, exactly. You learn sing harmony. You can't get away from that. But because I guess my dad taught it a lot, it was definitely something that everybody in my family cling to.
Mm.
I just happened to cling to the singing part of it,
Right.
and the rest of my family does production and stuff like that and sing as well. So,
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah. That's similar to my family. All my
yeah,
family, all my siblings and our children are musical.
that's
Same
wonderful.
thing. Same thing.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah,
I
yeah.
wasn't until I chose what I wanted to do. Like this is just very the last few years I've really sort of said, right, this is what I want to do. I didn't
That's
realize how
good.
much I had absorbed uh,
Yeah,
musically. I absorbed a lot, you know, and the same thing, just like you, production, mixing, singing,
yeah,
you know. So I understand where you're coming from. It was just all around. It was all
yes.
around.
You
It was all
can't run
around.
away from it. You
No,
really can't, even
no.
if you try.
But
Yeah.
the question I was going to ask is, I've got two boys, and
Okay.
I was very, as you said, intentional about them being themselves.
Mhm.
Really their personalities and everything. I didn't because I was bullied. I was bullied at school and
Okay.
some areas of my life, and I wanted them to be confident and I wanted them to have
Mhm.
their own sense of identity.
Mm.
Did your parents input that as well? I know you said about the intellectual side.
You said, did they try to make sure I was not bullied or had a strong sense of identity?
A
I
strong
would
sense of
say
identity, I would say, yeah.
I would say I didn't get that as like something that they were drilling on. What
Yeah.
I got was that we better know our Bible. You
Yeah.
know, knowing the Bible was like paramount. Studying the Bible,
Oh,
knowing my dad was he was big on knowing the truth of the Bible. Um, I would even say so. Today, I thank him for giving me the discipline part of the
yes.
Bible.
Yes.
Always be grateful to him. However, I do believe that I had to grow to a place of realizing that the head knowledge doesn't give you freedom.
I understand. I understand
So
where you're coming from.
my identity grew. I would say, just because I think just by default, my parents were very always in the front.
Yeah.
So we were always active, very active. I would say they gave us a lot of opportunity to participate in so many activities in the church.
Right.
Always a lot of social activities, and a lot of camps and just a lot of outdoor activities that I think gave us. To me, those things are basic
Mm.
that gives a child courage and
Yes.
the sense of what they want.
Mm.
However, I do believe that because we were so surrounded by church and all of that and their careers, I would be honest and say that my identity probably grew to be a good Christian girl.
Yeah. I can
So,
relate. I can relate. Um, what was I going to ask? I'm trying to word it in my head. So you grew up in church, and then
uh-huh.
you evolved, into your own thinking and belief and so on. At what
Mhm.
age did you decide that this is the path that I'm going to choose?
And when he said this is the path, because there are so many different what path?
I think,
This
yeah, I suppose when it comes to your creativity, your singing and so on, because I saw,
oh okay, so
and your
okay,
music,
music,
'cause I
okay.
saw I saw a video of you playing the piano. I was going, oh gosh, is there nothing she can't do?
Oh no. Like I said, my daddy taught me piano though, so I'm
Right.
classically trained. I think that if I wasn't doing singing, I'd probably have gone that route.
Okay.
But I think at some point I realized that I wanted to do the business of music.
Yeah.
Even though I was taught music and I liked the singing and so forth, I wasn't convinced being an artist of any kind, whether you play the piano or singing, was gonna be sufficient to be to make money. And I didn't want to be a
Yeah.
struggling artist. So I actually went to school to be a communication specialist. I actually want to be something like you, be
All
on
right.
TV
Okay.
and do communications.
Yeah.
But that dream was kind of crushed by a professor who said my accent was too strong at that
Oh,
time. At that time, yeah.
oh,
So
yeah.
that, yeah, I will never forget that. Anyways, a long story short, I decided not to go that route.
Yeah.
And I guess singing just kind of fell into my lap because I decided to do music business, study the business of music, and
Right.
maybe I could be like an A&R and recruit because I believe I can see talent,
Yes.
I
Yes.
can always felt good for talent. So,
Mhm.
but doing that, and I minored in music, I ended up doing background singing for Papa San and Nigel
Oh,
Lewis
I know, Papa. Yeah.
while I was studying to do the music business.
Right.
So long story short, the background singing kind of gave me the bug and kind of like the gets a training ground to put my feet into the music industry as an artist.
Yeah.
And from then, Nigel Lewis offered to do my first album. And then doing the first album, um, that's kind of how it started. And then I decided, it got a couple of nominations and a few awards. And then I said, okay, maybe this is something I can do.
Yeah. See, this is definitely something to do. So you just went straight and did an album. You didn't do a single or
Not for my first album, no.
wow. Wow. So who did you write your own songs?
Yeah, so that's how it. So Nigel Lewis heard that I was writing songs. I think he heard a few of them. I don't
Hmm.
know if he heard me just singing it a cappella or whatever the deal was. But he
Yeah.
was like, "Let me hear more of your songs." So I remember the day when I wrote out all my songs for him and I presented them to him. He's like, "I want to do the album." That was it.
Wow.
And so that was you call that divine blessing, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Timing. At that time, he definitely was looking out for me, and he was He brought all of his musicians he knew.
Yeah.
He was very resourceful, and then we just did it. Did it. Yeah.
You know, without sounding dramatic, because I watched some of your music videos, you know, very good quality, by the way. Um,
Thank you.
but I watched some of your videos, and I can actually see, say from 2013 coming up, I can see your growth. I can see yourself, you know, evolving.
Yeah.
But even back then, because I was watching them and I was saying, even back then, you had a message. You
Mhm.
had something, you know, that when I say I don't want to sound dramatic, you know, you hear people say, "Oh, they sound really good and everything," but you can actually feel your spirituality through your songs. Is that um, uh, is that intentional? I'm trying to
I
word
feel like
it properly.
I feel like you're being very careful as to what to say. Don't
Yeah,
be careful. Just say, pretend I'm
yeah.
just ask whatever because I'm just gonna say whatever. So
Well, no, I just
those are good questions. Those are very good
yes,
questions. I've always have you always so even now I'm glad first of all I can tell that there's a difference. That's
yes,
really I really appreciate that.
definitely, definitely.
Because I do feel like the people that knew me from a long time ago want to hold on to that, or
Yeah,
so, and that's fine. So to me, and I will say this, my heart has never changed,
right.
right? Whatever my father instilled in terms of the foundation of the importance of
Mm,
knowing that there's something beyond this rush life, beyond this material life,
yes,
beyond this life of success for definition. No, I always believed from the beginning that if I was going to do anything, it was going to be meaningful
yes,
and have either change lives in some way or have a message or something that had substance, right?
yes, yes,
That's what I felt
yeah,
because um, talent is dime a dozen,
yeah,
right? I
yes.
mean,
That's
there's
that's
so
where I
many,
was going. That's where I was
yeah,
going.
there's so many singers. And like I said, it took me a while to even accept my voice. So if I was gonna do it, it had to be because there was a story on my heart or a message on my heart. So that's how the songs came.
Yeah,
It really was more about my songwriting, I think, than even, oh, Kristine has a voice.
yeah,
It's really more,
yeah,
I really believe that oh, Kristine has a song to release.
yeah.
Um, Today, my songs, are still, I still find it very difficult for when people say, just gotta write a no deep song or
Yeah,
write a song that's
yeah,
just catchy, a
yeah,
song for the club. And sometimes I try, but I've learned that I have to just do what's me,
yes,
do
yeah,
what's me, and whoever is supposed to hear it will hear it.
yeah.
So in terms of then and now, the spirituality will never go.
Mm,
I just believe that at that time when I first started,
mm,
like when you're strong, when you're young and you're strong-minded
yes,
about a certain
yes,
belief,
yeah.
nobody can tell you anything
No, that
else.
that that
And no,
came across. That came across.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
When you're on a
no,
motorcycle and you, I'll say, yeah,
really.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So well, even that was the beginning of some kind of change too.
Yeah.
Because before that was the Get Ready album that was very much like I'm going to change this whole world for the gospel of Jesus Christ. Get
Okay.
ready. The change is coming.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what that was about. Get the one on the motorcycle was actually when I was beginning to become more free
Yes.
and
Yeah.
in terms of my delivery,
Yes.
that
Yeah.
I can deliver this message of
Yes.
the good news in a different, more fun way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then even then, I believe have become a little bit more expansive in my message, where I don't feel like I want to sing only to the church. So I feel like my
Yeah.
beginning music only church people could relate to. I
Yes.
really, yes, only church
Mm.
people could relate. And I felt that's okay. I have no like I feel like everything was great for a time.
Yeah.
But I believe firmly that if you feel that's your group, great. But there was a time when I realized I was tired of preaching to the choir,
Yeah.
tired of preaching to the choir, and I also realized that I began to realize that I can influence people and
Mm.
still have a good message without it being in a box of only singing about what the Bible says.
Yes.
I wanted to sing about love songs. I
Mm.
wanted to sing about social issues. And
Yes.
then I realized it's not, that's kind of taboo or not popular in a gospel box.
Yeah, yeah,
So I said, oops, too bad. I
yeah.
can't stay
You're not
there.
gonna
And I
be
decided to write what I feel is on my heart. And so love songs started to come out because I
Mhm.
allowed myself to be free from that.
Yeah.
And certain
It wasn't just
regular old school dancehall
yeah.
or old school reggae.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was saying it wasn't. I mean, when you say love songs, it's not just a he and a she love, is it? It's all
Well,
encompassing.
no,
Yeah.
sometimes it's just about that. Like I have a song called Key Lock, and Key Lock. Well, I mean, well, God is a part of my life in every
Hmm.
way. So for sure. But Key
Yeah.
Lock is about um two people realizing that their spirituality is one and that God has joined them together. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, yes, it used the Bible verse that said, what God has joined together,
Let
no
them
one
put
can
thunder.
put
Yeah.
asunder. But
Mm.
it is about true love. It's
Yeah.
about that. I have another song that is highlighting the black man and saying my king, because I wrote that saying, not we don't have enough songs that is bigging up
Yes.
the black man. We have
Yeah.
all these songs that just tearing them down or
My
saying
baby
things
left
and
me. He
this,
don't love
yeah.
me.
And that's cool, that's okay, that's great, that's fine. I felt like that was on my heart, I wrote. But
Yeah.
I couldn't have done that if I was just singing Bible songs. So
Yeah. There was oh gosh, the title escapes me, but there was a video where you was talking about you were singing about it appears to be a love song about a man and a woman, but in the
okay.
end it was about your heart and God.
Oh,
Oh gosh, I
made
can't.
it perfect time. There's a lyric video.
Yeah, it was a yeah, yes. No, there was another one.
It was an
And
actual music
and at
video.
the end he comes and watches you on the stage singing,
Okay, that's a
and then you
very
put your
old
hands
video.
up like that, and you
Oh, I choose you.
that's it.
Oh, it's actually, yeah.
And
Well,
at first
so
it looks like a love thing, and then I thought,
yeah.
oh,
So
she's
at first, well, it's the video is supposed to portray that yes, I am tempted by natural relationships for sure, and because that was true. Like as a little girl, I was like, well, as a little girl, you're dating, and then oh, you're in love. Your boyfriends
yeah,
tend to come before, your
yeah,
spirituality, or or
yeah,
God or
yeah,
whoever. And so that was what I was representing, and then so at the end it was to show that no, my ministry, my singing ministry is before all of that. And so that's what I was
yes.
saying. But then God comes first. It was me choosing God and my call. um
It's no, very well done. It's because I got into it and I was really watching it, and I think,
uh,
oh, okay, I get that. That's good, because you told the story very well by song, so that was really good. Yeah.
thank you.
So, how did your parents or your family take your let's say expansive ministry?
So my mom is very supportive. My mom, I would say, brought a lot of balance to my life.
Yeah,
Even though she was had strong Christian beliefs. I remember when I used to ask her questions about, like, the Bible and verses, and at the end of the day, she'd always say, "Chris," she showed me by action to that love was really what mattered. I would see how she treated people,
yeah,
and it was I realized that my mom was open-minded,
yeah, yeah,
meaning that if I had to figure it out on my own, she would have loved to figure it out on my own.
yeah,
And she was always super proud that I was singing gospel Christian music, but she never twitched or turned or felt differently towards me when I told her I was gonna be doing regular reggae music or gospel or love songs. She was like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
it wasn't a big deal to her. So
Mm,
it was not surprising, but I realized that it would have been a change or a surprise to a lot of people who think that you have to only sing, that gospel means a certain
mm,
kind of sound, or you have to have the Bible in there and so forth. So
yeah.
my mom was very supportive. My dad has always been supportive, but he prefers, like I said, me
The
to not sing
traditional,
reggae. He
yes, yes,
prefers classical music, but
yeah,
it's okay. He's gotten used to it. So
yeah. I mean, when I was growing up in church, there were a few people that didn't want us to listen to reggae for some
yeah,
reason, you
it
know.
was banned a long time
Yeah,
ago.
they didn't want us to. Yeah, so I know where you're coming from. We had the same thing. Um, so we come in, towards when I met you now. So between all right, the change. You started to have the change. You're on the motorcycle, the wind's blowing through your
So,
hair.
so after that, though, I more changed. I was still in the gospel when
Right.
I did an album with Rory Stone Love. Was when everybody was like, okay, she's not gospel anymore. She's with
Oh.
the Rory. Rory Stone Love is,
Mm.
producer known to, kill the dance and
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so that was, but again, people still saw the album, especially in the UK, they loved it. But it
Yeah.
was a spiritual album,
Yeah.
songs from Zion to them. So to only a few, to only the gospel industry, and because of the name of Rory, it was told to be me coming out. But like I said, I still confirm that almost all the songs were Bible based or
Yeah.
had spiritual values in
Yes.
there.
Yes.
And a few love songs and then one dance song, one dance
Mm.
song. So, you know,
You didn't stray too far from.
I wouldn't even call it stray. I just call it
Yeah.
expansion. Yep, that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah. So okay, so the song that obviously that got my attention when I first saw you was Black Diamond,
Okay.
you know. So at the end of the video, you have your in memory of.
Yes.
So when I looked at your Facebook and I looked at even that tells a story, the timeline.
Yeah.
How did you cope with that? I mean, I have to say for those who will be watching that you lost your husband last year.
Yeah. Is that how you, when you saw the videos, when you saw the in memory, and that's when you realized I lost him?
I was looking at your Facebook page, just getting a feel of you because I was really impressed with you. And then I saw little bits and pieces of people, encouraging you and, you talking about your guardian angel. And I'm thinking, guardian angel. I said, oh no. And then, I was going all like that, like trying. And then I sort of worked it out. And then,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, so Black Diamond was, I released it in October, but I wrote
yeah.
it early in March, I believe.
Mhm.
My husband passed of cancer in August. So Black Diamond and Eternity were written in that time frame where we were fighting together. And for, some people there are people that can relate. I know this.
Yeah.
A lot of us in the Black community, we have family members that struggle with diabetes, cancer, just that my husband, I just married him 4 years ago, and he's young, so I did not believe he was gonna go. I did not. I believe that, and he was. When we met, I was fully doing my music. He was the number one supporter.
Yeah.
Even when we were going through the battle, I got my home studio, this studio that you see right here.
Yeah.
Put together because it was my way of coping.
Yes.
Was when he was downstairs, sleeping or resting or in the bed, and I had to stay here and take care of him. This was my saving grace. I built the studio so that I could release, write, keep my mind sane, and that's what came out of it. So people ask, how did you do it? I would say this is how God works, in my opinion. Whatever gift or whatever is your thing.
Yes.
He looked down and knew that I needed to do this to just keep me above water. So I would say this was my coping, but I also know that if I'm a singer, I need to use whatever situation I have to pull out whatever is in me, purge whatever is in me. But at the end of the day, we are all united in our ways. So I knew that what I was going through, I must be feeling this with other people.
Yes.
Like I just knew it.
Yes.
Especially because on a personal level, I heard a lot of people struggling with personal issues, sickness.
Yes.
COVID had just erupted. It was a crazy time. I mean, it is a crazy time, but that was the fresh time of it.
That was it when it first started. Yeah.
Yes, everywhere was like, it was, and then it was just like it just felt like just a lot.
Yeah.
It felt like a lot. And because I was in Texas and I moved here and I didn't really have any friends. This was all I had. The music was all I had.
Yeah.
It was my husband and then this, and that was it. So good and a bad thing.
Yeah.
But produced that, and so. Black Diamond was a song that was used to encourage me to say,
And it
we
encourages
gotta
you as
fight through
well.
this. We
Yeah,
have to, like, but it was also me realizing I am not the only one that clearly is going through this world. There's a
yeah,
shift that's happening that
yes,
if we don't get it, if we don't get who we
yeah,
are and what we are, we're going to crumble and fall under. So
mhm,
it was like, to guys, listen, don't give up. We are Black Diamonds. We
yeah,
have to, if you know you're a Black Diamond, and you're gonna understand why this fire is so hot, you
yes.
know, why this feels like this is burning like crazy.
Mm.
And so I thank God for the song because it definitely helped me at that time.
Yeah, powerful song, a very powerful song. Yeah,
And I hope it continues. Like sometimes now when I feel like, oh, here we go again, because the grieving process is up and down.
it's awful.
So I listen to it when I can.
Yeah, no, it's awful. It's awful. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Mm.
And so yeah, so that was dedicated to him because it was, I believe that whoever is in your life, whatever loved one is in your life that you've lost, whatever treasure you've lost, there is a reason. I'm still learning and I'm
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
processing it. That I do know in theory that
Mm.
everything works out for the best. I know in
Yeah.
theory. And there are times when my spirit feels it, but times when I feel like, no, that shouldn't have happened. It wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I know for sure deep down that yes, it's for a reason. It really is. It
Yeah.
was for whatever reason it is. Um, my husband is happy. He
Yeah.
is free from pain. He and I have the benefit of having I really believe now more than ever that my mind has expanded more to even
Mm.
pursue or try to understand the spiritual world even more,
Yes.
because we think we know,
Yeah.
but when you know, intellectual is different from when you know and you
Inside.
feel, and
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
you understand
I
that.
understand. I
Yeah.
definitely do. Yeah. Yeah. It's a
So,
very powerful song.
oh, thank
So
you. I'm glad that people get it. Sometimes you write a song from your heart and it's like, because it's not a commercial song,
yeah.
but that was the point. I wanted to release it because I like, no matter what you release, what's on your heart, because we are humanity and there's no human that survives something by itself. So I
No.
knew someone else and some other mass needed to hear the
Yeah.
struggles.
Yes. So, which brings us on to eternity, which,
Yes.
as I said, with you, you can see how you keep evolving. You
Mm,
keep growing. So, eternity,
I hope
you were going through your struggle, and now you're in
yeah.
eternity. You're in that
So
present.
true.
You push
Yes.
through. So
Yes. And life is a cycle, so that's good that you acknowledge that.
yeah,
I'm really thankful that you took the time to do that, because sometimes on every conversation
yeah,
we we get to really, you can tell you've done your research.
mm,
So eternity, yeah. Um, I'm glad that um, you know, even though I don't have all the answers,
yeah,
I'm able to talk to you about it, about
yes,
the journey.
yes,
Before, me and my husband were so in love and
mm,
this and that, and Keela was to say, this is true love. And
yeah,
you
yeah.
put it out there,
And
and
you can see it as well.
we showed
Yeah,
all, yeah, we had fun. We had fun showing our journey
yeah,
and the unexpected, and that people were attached to him too. So I feel like sharing my stages in a certain way, to a certain extent, the grieving
yes,
is important because not many people understand. Not many
no,
people understand.
no,
So even some people, me putting out the music when he passed or shortly after, were confused. But I think there's gonna be a time when they be able to explain that everybody grieves differently. For
yes,
me, some people would shut down and not release anything for a
yes,
while, and
yes,
that's fine.
yes,
For me,
mm,
I remember the day I released Black Diamond on October the 30th. When it was released on iTunes, I bawled and I bawled and I bawled because it was a release. And it was, for me, it was the most spiritual thing I could do,
yes.
period.
And see,
It was
people
for
don't
me,
know that part. They don't know, yeah.
and it just worked for me. It was my healing. So
Mm,
yeah, what it was my healing. Whether one person heard it, two people heard it, three people
yeah,
heard it, I knew it was the right thing for me to do.
yeah, yeah,
So continuing to the music was my coping mechanism. I
yeah,
would say that. I'm not afraid to say that.
no,
I kept myself busy.
yeah,
some people I know were afraid to say, Chris, if you don't stop, you're going to not grieve properly.
Mm.
But I feel like it's part of my healing. So yes, there are times when I busy with putting out the music or try to keep, but I also realize that it's not for me. Because I realize it's not for me, it's a gift.
Mm.
You share your gift, whether
Yeah.
you're in the highs or the lows, whether you're, you know, feeling great or not, you share it. Because
Mm.
why? We all, if music is to reflect our real lives and our real experiences, then I must walk it through.
Yeah.
I must walk it through. So, um,
Hear
that,
me, I'm going, amen.
yeah, no, you're right. And you know, and then also, yeah, so eternity now is what I realized that because I didn't get my answer,
Mm.
or at the time when I wrote eternity, he was still alive, but I realized I may not get my answer.
Yes.
And I think my counselor and some wise people around me said, prepare yourself, because yes,
Yeah.
we're praying, and you can have all the faith in the world, but you have to also be in a place of, what if you don't get the answer you
That's
want?
right.
And
That's
sometimes we're not taught that.
no.
And so we're taught about praying, only thinking about the future,
Mm.
um, like praying for this future. But what we have to remember, what I had to learn was how
Mm.
you're gonna be content and happy if you don't get what you want. Number one. Number
Yeah.
two, because if you focus when we're so obsessed with the future,
Yeah, it's true.
we are obsessed in just even in non-spiritual terms, just
Mm.
regular daily life. And that's our human nature.
Mm.
Nothing wrong, but I realized I was overconsumed. And
Yeah.
then because of my spiritual background, I had to know all the answers. I wanted to know,
Mm.
okay, 1 + 1 = 2. If I pray, if I do this, if I do this, this should happen, this should
Yeah.
happen, this should
Yeah.
happen. Um, questions about heaven and hell would come up all the time.
Mm.
Just all of that. And I was just like, this is too much. There
Yeah.
has to be a way where if God is taking me through this trial, that at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know if he was gonna pass today,
Mm.
5 months from now, if I was gonna have him for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years. But
Mm.
imagine worrying about that. That would
Yeah.
drive me crazy. And so that's when that song came and said, no, you better live today.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you thinking about 2 years and 5
Okay.
years, you're gonna miss out. And God started to show me little signs in the garden, like, oh, beautiful flower here. Oh,
Mm.
a mushroom in the desert, a mushroom in the midst of a
Yeah.
whole green land. The bird, I was missing out on the bird singing, just
Mm.
missing out on beauty and becoming
Mm.
miserable because I was trying to fight for him,
Yes.
fight.
Yeah.
We're trying to so many different things, and
Mm.
you know, and I'm glad I got that lesson, because the truth is,
Yeah.
I think, again, we never know. Even though he passed.
Mm.
If I didn't have myself in that place, I probably would have reacted in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
I would be in a different place today. And even now, today, even though I haven't also know, when I focus on, okay, the beauty of this moment,
Mm.
beauty of this situation, I believe that's what we have to, because we're never going to know when COVID is going to be over.
No.
We're never going to
No.
know. You never know how long you have your job. You
Mm.
never know how long you're going to be financially okay. There's always a cycle in life. So if we depend on those high moments, eternity, what are we talking about? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Happiness is a fleeting
Mm.
moment, and life cannot be about hinging for those things to happen or wondering
Mm.
how long it's going to last. We better be able to have eternity today.
Today. Yeah.
Today, live it today. We better be able to enjoy this interview right now.
Yeah. No.
Without me
The
worrying
lesson.
about, oh my gosh, is eternity gonna be a number one? I
Yeah.
can't worry about that. I
No.
have to worry about that. This conversation right now is the most important thing, because we are connecting about something that's real and
That's
real
right.
life experiences, and you
Mm.
have your experiences. Those moments are magical.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
is, because
Yeah.
every moment can change the next moment and the next
Mm.
moment.
But I was just thinking. I showed you that comment. I sent that comment to you by someone who went away and looked at your music and was shocked to realize that you had done so much, because your music, for those of who will be watching, um, your music your videos are in the thousands. You know, a lot of people have listened to your music. That's why I'm surprised that well, I didn't know about you. I don't know how many people
Uh,
knew about
That's
you
okay.
in
No,
the
no,
UK.
that's okay. No, there's still a lot of people that when every time I comment on interview, they're like, "Oh, I just heard about you."
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
realize there is still a lot more, and I believe that I still don't think my viewership can go up. So whoever's watching, yes, definitely share the videos.
yeah.
Based on, I mean, so I'm grateful that you say that, but the world is a big place, and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
whoever has heard it, great, but it still could be, it could
yeah,
reach
yeah,
more, and there's a lot of people that don't know. Yes,
yeah,
but hey,
yeah,
yeah, but that's the thing. I think that's another thing that eternity has taught me, that I can no longer worry about when will these
yeah,
people hear about this song.
yeah, yeah.
You know, yeah, no.
So what's is there any what's happening after eternity? I mean, I'm not. You said don't look towards the future, but
No,
I'm
no,
just
no.
saying.
We have to have still some sort of a plan. Like,
That's
so
it.
what
That's
that
it.
right. So I still have a plan in my life. I
Yeah,
still go to work. I teach music
yes,
at a school. I still get up every day. That's my purpose, to live fully every day. But because I love music so much, I still write.
yeah,
I hope that this year, I feel like the songs are gonna come from the different changes. So
yes,
I know for sure, like right this week, I'm moving to a new place because I have to have a fresh start,
right.
and I have to get rid of the old things. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be a whole new set of emotions.
Oh,
And so
wow.
I don't know, I may write about that, or I'm gonna
Mm,
write about the time when I'm completely feeling free, feeling new, feeling,
yes.
the morning probably is a little bit behind. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've thought about doing an EP, definitely either an
Okay.
EP or an album, maybe towards the end of the year or something.
I know, because I mean, January's finished already. I can't even believe it.
Right?
So
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
right. We need to enjoy the moments, because
Yeah, yeah, and
they're
I
so
just please
fast.
eternity. So I don't know if I'll do one or two more singles. I don't.
Mm,
Most likely release one or two, and then
yeah,
either an EP or an album or
and then the
something.
EP. So,
Yeah.
Kristine, tell us where we can find you. I mean, I will put it on at the end of the video. But
Sure. Thanks for.
yeah,
Yeah. So I am on Facebook, as you know, Kristine
yeah,
Alicia. Kristine is with a K,
yes,
and I have a personal page and a fan page.
yes,
So, but Kristine Alicia is where you can always find me.
yes,
On Twitter as well, same thing.
yeah.
Um, on Instagram is Kristine Alicia Music.
Okay. At the end, on your musical page, you've got FAM. What does FAM stand for?
Right, just fam, because I didn't want to say fan page, so it's just
All right.
fam. The family is short for family. So
I thought
right, so
so.
that, but because the personal page became full, I did a fan page.
Hmm.
So either one is fine, I think. I don't know whichever
Okay.
one feels was more, but
Okay.
I post the same on both. So
Okay. Well, Kristine, I have enjoyed talking to you.
of course,
Um, even before I spoke to you, I found your music very powerful, very uplifting. Even looking at I love your Facebook post. I love Instagram. I love everything. I love
oh,
reading because you try to impart positivity, even when you admit that you may not be having a good day. You still try to put it over in a positive way if that's possible.
I
So
try, I
you
try,
know,
yeah, because we're all going through it. But what's the
yeah,
point of wallowing in it, right? So.
yes, yes. So I just say, I'm sure that I'm going to do my best to make sure that the UK is aware of you,
Oh, I
and that your
appreciate that.
message is spread far and wide.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to hear the other singles and the EP and
Yes.
everything. But I will make sure that
Yeah.
I keep tabs on what you're doing. It's been lovely
Well,
talking to you. Thank you
thank you,
very much.
Cora. And I want to say blessings to all of your listeners.
Yeah,
I know this medium is also so powerful for us
yes,
artists. So it's we are thankful. I'm thankful that the people tune in, and then because they tune in, they're able to
yeah.
hear the music. So thank you for being a wonderful medium for the music.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for providing the music for this meeting.
Aw.
Thank you. Okay, take
All
care.
right. No
All right,
problem, Coral. Thanks.
bye. Bye bye. Bye.